I need your help with Frigidaire Dehumidifier error codes. I don't know what to do about this.
Since the company is literally called Cold Air, you wouldn't think they had problems making a dehumidifier that doesn't error out.
That doesn't help me fix it, or even diagnose the problem.
The power indicator light stays on as long as it has power even if turned off. The bucket full light flashing isn't an error code, just a notice to empty the bucket.
I know what that looks like.
You may see it even when the bucket is empty if the float indicator is stuck up.
Or the float isn't mounted properly in the first place.
The filter reset light flashes after 250 hours of running to tell you to replace the filter. The CO message means it is in continuous mode, running non-stop regardless of humidity level unless it stops when the bucket is full.
No, I'm seeing errors.
The F1 and F2 error codes on a Frigidaire dehumidifier means a sensor has failed.
Which sensor?
Usually the humidistat, also known as the humidity sensor, and the temperature sensor.
I can try replacing the air filter and other things to improve airflow and maybe dry the humidistat to see if that fixes it.
You could also hit the fan speed button to shift it from low to high to help dry it out.
I've seen error codes other than F1 and F2.
The F5, L1, C5 and E5 errors can be resolved by turning off the unit, waiting 30 minutes, and turning it back on.
You're telling me to reboot my dehumidifier?
That's cheaper than replacing sensors or a control board. F0, though, usually means the temperature is less than 41 nor over 90. And if you had a Frigidaire AC, F5 means the coil is freezing.
The room is room temperature.
Then the unit is overheating because the motor is wearing out or freezing because of poor airflow or a refrigerant leak.
Or I need to replace the temperature sensor.
I've heard of Frigidaire using S or A5 as a sensor error, but I don't know how many models that applies to.
An A5 would look like an S on most simple displays.
If the unit keeps running when the room is dry or the unit shuts down and it still feels like a Louisiana swamp, you can be pretty sure it is the humidistat.
I'd try drying the sensor after changing the filter or letting it thaw out before I pay for a new sensor. If the sensor is dry and the thing thinks things are really damp, then I do need a new sensor.
The dehumidifier should automatically shut off when it reaches the level you picked unless you set it to continuous. If it still runs, turn off continuous mode unless the sensor is the issue.
At least flipping modes is cheaper and faster than replacing components.
And if replacing sensors doesn't work, you're back to rebooting the unit so you don't feel as guilty calling for service.
Or getting a new, working dehumidifier.